correctly, which is what most commercial weight loss plans have you do, only 70 to 80% of what you lose is fat. The rest of what you lose, a whopping 20 to 30%, is lean muscle. That's bad. What's worse, when you gain the weight back, it's all fat. That's really bad. Having more fat and less lean muscle on your body puts you at risk for heart disease, stroke, and other serious conditions. Break the yo-yo cycle with 2020 Lifestyles, the only program that has personalized exercise, plus physicians and other medical professionals monitoring every aspect of your health. What's more, 2020 is genetically guided, which means your individual weight loss program is personalized around your unique genetic blueprint. Learn more at 2020lifestyles.com.
Did everyone agree with you? Let's find out. Choose your news on the Candy, Mike, and Todd Show.
Everyone probably agreed with you, right? Because given a set of choices, in this case, one or the other, Mike or me, you go through a weighted deliberation and then you arrive at the best decision, as Candy would say. So we gave you a taste of our stories. You've been texting your votes, Candy, Mike, or Todd, except not Candy because she's not here. The Online Trading Academy text line at 98973. Man, you're creative. 206. Dead Millennials. Good start. Mike all the way. See, let's try to bring serious news to this radio show and save some lives. 206, happy birthday, Mike.
Oh, that's nice.
425, Todd, saved my life. I need to hear your story. At least someone there is concerned about the millennials.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Is it really your birthday today?
Yeah, it's really my birthday.
Wow,
today.
I didn't know that. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Man. Okay, do your story. I'm going to go get you something.
All right.
I'll be right back. Hey, I got to get Mike some.
All right, see ya.
Go ahead, do the story.
All right. So, without any of the lengthy introductions we normally do, the story I picked today is fascinating. And to say a little bit about myself, I spent my entire childhood wanting to be an astronaut. So the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing is a big deal in my head. And I already watched the CNN documentary, which is spectacularly good. This is only 570 people, I think, have been in space. And the Washington Post thought to go out and find 50 of them and interview them. Like, what is it actually like to live up there? Because we have a space station, and we have people who've spent considerable periods of time up there. Sandy Magnus, who flew on 3 NASA shuttle flights between 2002 and 2011, said simply, he responded, "Gravity sucks. It's horrible," about how much he enjoyed being weightless. But they also tell you that being weightless has its own weirdness, and that the fluids in your body pool in weird places. Oh. And one astronaut said what he would recommend to people who are going in space for the first time is use one of those. You probably know what these are, Todd. Those gym things where you hang by the boots, the gravity boots, upside down. He said
inversion boots.
Inversion boots. He said hang in one of those. You'll get used to the feeling of having all the fluid pooling in your head. He said you feel congested all the time. The other one said like you got to really work on your aim when it comes to defecation because stuff tends to just float around or stick to you. They talked about how difficult it is to not play with your food because you start to eat and your food just starts floating in front of you, and it's hard not to snap at it like a fish or a snapping turtle. The Michael Collins, a former NASA commander, he was actually the module pilot on Apollo 11. He said it becomes a completely different moon than you grew up with it because you're seeing it in a way that you cannot see before. And they also talk about looking back at the Earth. And even Neil Armstrong, who was one of the more reticent people to describe anything in emotional terms, said that it struck me when he first saw the Earth from out there that this tiny pea, pretty and blue, was the Earth. I put my thumb and put up my thumb, shut one eye, and my thumb blotted out the planet Earth. I didn't feel like a giant. I felt very, very small. And this is the way, like, they all talk about, so the practical application of being in space and how weird it is, how hard it is to sleep without gravity, and how you have to learn to really, really measure your movements. They interview quite a few. Sergei Raznovsky, a cosmonaut, he said the key is move slowly and nimbly as a cat, very smooth. Push off too hard and you, quote, immediately hit your head on the wall. And there's a lot of that. During the first 2 weeks, we have lots of bruises. They talk about how the adjustment gets easier over time, and then you start to enjoy it, but the weird stuff starts happening to your body. Like, for example, after a month or so, all the skin comes off like a snake shedding its skin, said NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy. I remember taking my sock off one day, a month or two into the mission. It was like an explosion of dead skin floating around me. Then I realized my feet were as soft as a baby's bottom.
There you go. So fascinating story. And millennials.
Washington Post today. Read it. It's fascinating.
Let's send it out on the social channels. Andrew, mind doing that? It's Mike's birthday.
Yeah, send it out for my birthday. Thanks, Andrew.
Right. You get a tweet.
Mike, I just found out about your birthday.
I get my first tweet.
So those are 2 Power Crunch bars.
Oh, thank you, Todd.
I'll get you something.
You shouldn't have.
I tried.
Really, you shouldn't have.
I tried to give you stuff for your bike earlier in the week, but you already had it. But I didn't know it was your birthday. All right, we come back on the Candy, Mike, and Todd show. You know about tearing down those golf courses to build housing or to surround them with housing? Nope. Rejected. Tell you the details why. Right now, traffic report from Tracy Taylor, brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino.
We're still looking at some pretty hefty delays right now trying to get across the lake, westbound 9.